Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I am back today from my vacation in Morgantown, West Virginia, to deliver you an EIDL grant and loan update because we have a new process from the SBA, and I want to get this information out to you guys. All right, there's a new process to support bank delays, funding errors. This is happening both in the grants and it is also happening in the loan side. There's some things you could do to be proactive with your bank and with the SBA. So share this video with everybody that you know who's inside the EIDL grant or loan program because we want to prevent you from getting stuck in one of these errors, one of these glitches. Get your funds today so you can start changing your futures. All right, so let's dive into all the details. Welcome back, everybody. Yes, I am back today from my vacation again to bring you all an EIDL update because it's much deserved. We have a new process out there to help everybody who is finding themselves reaching the finish line, getting approved by the SBA. This is for the grants, the $5,000, the $10,000, the targeted advance, the supplemental, and even the loans, okay? Because even the loans are being held up at the banks. We're gonna talk about the new process with the SBA, and we're also gonna talk about what you can do on the bank side to prevent your funding from being frozen or returned back to the SBA, okay? This is so frustrating, such a frustrating one because, man, you're so close. You think tomorrow is going to be a better day, and you go and check your bank and find out that they've returned it back to the SBA thinking it was fraud, okay? So that's what this channel is all about. By the way, I'm Edward Bilder. I'm a financial educator. If you have not yet met me before, maybe today is the day to become a subscriber because I typically post finance videos about how to fill your pocket building wealth strategies starting with $0. And right now I focus heavily on PPP, EIDL, and all the stimulus updates because so many small business owners out there are getting stuck in these glitches, getting stuck in these moments where they think they're going to have some changes occur. And right here on this channel, we help you navigate through those scenarios, all right? So tune back in daily to get yourself the updates. Now, as I mentioned, I am on vacation right now in Morgantown, West Virginia. So if you have not noticed, I am in the gym taking in some steps right now. It is the quietest place in this hotel, even though I rented the biggest suite I could possibly find, thinking I could film, but with my children upstairs, those walls are just not soundproof enough. So I'm sure if you have children, you've experienced this. So this happens to be the quietest place that I could get away to so that I could give you guys all the updates, all right? So as I said, we're gonna talk about the funding delays. We're gonna kind of walk through why it's happening with the grants and the loans. It's happening in both areas, okay? So it's not just a grant issue. I know the SBA kind of made it out to seem like this is just a grant issue, but it's also happening in the loans, in the loan areas as well, okay? It's happening less, but with these large ACH transfers, it's more happening on the bank side. So we're going to talk about that as well, all right? So the SBA has given us a new email and a new process and something new to track, of course, right? If your ACH transfer for the $5,000 supplemental grant, the $10,000 grant, or even the loans, if your ACH transfer reached your bank, you've looked in your portal, it said funded, a few days have passed, and you called your bank and said, hey, I'm supposed to have funding there, where is it? The bank then tells you, I'm sorry, we saw that ACH transfer come in, we thought it was fraud, and we sent it back to the SBA. The SBA has now given us a new process on how to handle this. It comes with a new email address, and you can be proactive here because there are very specific reasons why this happened. And if you fall into this category, just go out and get it changed right away, all right? Go get it changed before the SBA sends your money and then it gets sent back, all right? Now, in the worst case scenario, app banks like Chime, they're no longer accepting ACH transfers from the SBA. So if you're out there using an app bank, even if some YouTuber out there said, yeah, that app bank is good, don't worry about it, or they gave you some kind of list, or you see all these comments where people are saying, I used Chime last year, or I used Chime this year, I would not necessarily trust that that is accurate because more and more we're seeing that less app banks are taking the transfers, okay? So be proactive. If you have one of these app banks, just go out right now, open yourself a regular bank account and run through these steps that I'm about to explain here in a moment and get it changed up front, all right? A number of other reasons why it might be happening that you may not be as easily to detect is that if you had an error in the account information, if there was an error in the address, if there was some type of error in the bank account, maybe the names didn't match, these errors were warned. They warned you basically in the application process that they could trigger an ACH rejection where it sends the money back. And the last big one here is if you have a personal bank account those are not accepted for the transfers from the SBA. So if you have a personal bank account out there, you can also go through the same similar steps of changing that now like you would do if you had an app bank or a Chime Bank, all right? So I want to talk about what the process is here, okay? Because don't worry, the SBA has told us that if they were to send you the funding and it was to be sent back, they're not going to take that money and just give it to the next applicant, all right? Your money has already been allocated for you, but it is stuck in this limbo. It's basically stuck out there in outer space waiting for somebody to reach out and grab it, all right? Now, I don't know exactly if there is a timing mechanism to this. If you do not go out and get your funds in enough time, will they then cancel that and send it to the next person? They were not specific about that. So I would not hesitate if you found that your banking information is causing an error and it triggered a return, you're going to want to do this ASAP, all right? And what you need to do is you need to send an email with some information contained inside of it, but you're going to need to send this email to covidadvancebankreturns@sba.gov and put your application number in the top line indicating that your ACH transfer has been returned. All right. Inside the email, you're going to need a front and back copy of your driver's license in PDF, and you will also need a voided check from your bank. Okay. Basically, it's a blank check. You write void across it, and if you don't have checks, go out to your branch. For $1, they will give you a voided check. In most cases, it's $1. All right. You don't have to go and buy a whole bunch of checks. Just go and grab yourself from the bank. They'll give you one that they print out, and it'll cost you about $1. Okay. In PDF format, also send that in, okay? And email it into the covidadvancebankreturns@sba.gov. Get ahead of this because chances are your ACH will be rejected, okay? And don't worry, all these steps are going to be found in the description. So just head on out to the description right now. You can find all these steps. You can find the email address. And while you're up there, don't forget to grab your free stocks or your free crypto or your free sign-on bonuses. You can grab all this free stuff. I have a free stuff section. And remember, every month I get $2,000 worth of free stocks from Webull by recommending my friends. And right now they're giving away a Tesla. All right, it's their big anniversary and they want to give some lucky winner a Tesla. Okay, so check out Webull. It's a great app to use. And you could also check out my crash course on AirBNB where you could start expanding your revenue streams, get yourself into the real estate game without actually having to own the real estate. You could start this process with $50 and start cash flowing in 3 days, earning an extra $5,000 to $10,000 each and every month. I do this all the time, okay? And as soon as I turn on one, I go and turn on another one, and I just multiply that $5,000 to $10,000 every month, over and over and over again, and it allows me to get paid while I'm here on vacation in Morgantown, West Virginia. All right, so check that out in my crash course on Airbnb, found in the description. Now, before we leave, I want to step into the banks freezing. Okay, so hang around here just for another brief moment. I want to talk about why the banks are freezing these big loan transfers, because anytime the bank is seeing an ACH transfer that is greater than any ACH transfer you've ever seen, you know, if you're basically dealing with $5,000, $10,000 in your debits and deposits back and forth, suddenly $100,000 shows up, and the bank's like, this has got to be fraud. This person typically only transacts $5,000 at most all the time, and suddenly $100,000 showed up. All right, so you don't want your bank to freeze if you're expecting one of these $100,000 or $200,000. I mean, this could go up to $500,000 in some cases if you qualified for the $500,000 for the loan increase. You don't want your bank to freeze up. It is a big problem, and it takes some time to get it recovered. All right, you might have to show some documentation. It's a big hassle. So if you want to get ahead of it, all you have to do is call your bank. Call your bank and tell them, hey, I am expecting $500,000 to show up, over this span of dates. You could stretch it out to a series of dates, and they will tell you that they could place an alert inside their system to look for this ACH transfer, and upon authorization, accept it, and your bank account will not be frozen. Okay, so be proactive, get ahead of this. You don't want your bank account to freeze up. It could really stop your business from functioning. I mean, you might need your bank account daily for your business. You don't want this to happen, all right? Trust me. All right, that'll do it for today. If you guys need further assistance outside my free content found right here on YouTube, you can find me pinned in the top comment for a one-on-one consultation. Just click the link and you can set up a phone call with me. Avoid all those scammers that are in the comments. They just want to steal your money and steal your identity and steal your everything, okay? Just avoid all of them, all right? Just hit report if you see them. And if you want to check out some of the highlights from my vacation, you can head on over to my Instagram. I've been posting pictures of everything I've been doing here with my family since I got here. So, I thank you all again, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.